Monday Night Raw took place last night from the WWE Performance Center. You have Asuka coming out to start the show. She's going to wrestle Charlotte later on the show, and she is interrupted by Sasha Banks and Bayley, who of course won the WWE Women's titles this past Friday from SmackDown. They defeated Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, the former champions, and we find out later that they will face them again, this time with the Iconics involved. So you have Sasha and Bayley go in and they tell Asuka to shut up, and then they're interrupted again by Charlotte Flair. And Charlotte, of course, is coming off losing her belt last night at NXT TakeOver in your house in a triple threat match with Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai. And of course, Io Shirai won the belt when she pinned Rhea Ripley. So it's interesting with Charlotte, the way they set this up. I'm assuming she's going to have two big feuds with two Japanese female wrestlers. I think she can probably face Asuka, because the way she beat Asuka, it makes you think they're going to set up Asuka and Charlotte later in the summer. And then she's definitely going to get a rematch with Io Shirai, I think, in NXT, because she didn't get pinned and lost her belt. Rhea Ripley got pinned, so you think she's going to get two title shots, and probably she'll win at least one, Charlotte. I think she'll lose to Io and probably beat Asuka for the belt, unfortunately. But Charlotte's there, and the Iconics then interrupt them, and it turns into a three-way. Of course, the Iconics reminded Bayley and Sasha that they beat them for the titles last year at WrestleMania. Of course, they set up a triple threat tag team match, and I don't know where Kairi's saying is, if she's still with the company even, but no, Asuka doesn't have her tag team partner. You have Charlotte and Asuka teaming up to face the Iconics, and the women's tag team title champion Sasha Banks and Bayley. Triple threat tag team match. Of course, you have an okay matchup here. What happens is Billie Kay and Charlotte are wrestling, and then what happens is Asuka attacks herself in. She puts Billie Kay in the Asuka lock, and she gets a submission win. And Sasha Banks and Bayley were taken out earlier in the match, and they basically disappeared early in the match. But Asuka gets the win. I don't know why the hell the Iconics are getting another title shot, but they are. They're going to face... Let's just do Sasha and Bayley against Alexa and Nikki. It's actually a decent match on SmackDown. Let's do a rematch. I don't know why you have to add the fucking Iconics in. They're not even... It's on Raw. Anyway, whatever. Well, because they won a match a year ago. They do a Rey Mysterio interview. He did really good here. Rey's very good. Rey's one of the best promos. He did really good here. He's cutting a promo on Seth, but he ends it horribly. I'm going to hit you with a 619. I'm thinking, I'm going to kill you, Seth. I'm going to hit you with a 619. Not a good way to end the promo, but they're setting up the match. I think it's at Backlash. Or actually, no, it's not there, but they're going to set up a match with the two of them. Aleister Black defeated Aleister Black and Humberto Carrillo defeated Austin Theory and Murphy. To be honest, I was surprised Humberto wasn't released in that mass firing. He has those dimples. I don't know what they have with Humberto, why they see anything with them, but he got the win here. They had Charlie Cruz interview Randy Orton. He wanted to know if he ripped into Edge and Christian, and Christian's doing the Peep Show. So the Peep Show's out. Christian's there. He introduced Edge. He's happy to see him. They hug. Christian talked about how excited he was, happy to see Edge return at the Rumble and get his WrestleMania moment. And they chanted, "You still got it," from those wrestlers in the crowd, those marks. Christian says he didn't think Edge could pull off the greatest wrestling match ever in his prime. He says they were friends, but they had to be honest with each other. Edge was lying himself. They think he can pull it off. Edge wants to punt the brakes. What he's been through, this is not going to be a great wrestling match. You just know it. Edge said this wasn't Edge. They had a good back and forth there. Basically, Christian's challenging Edge. He says this Edge wasn't going to show up at Backlash to go home right now. The audience chanted for Edge. Christian smiled. He says he saw the look in Edge's eyes. That's what he wanted to see. We believe you. It's the same look he had in his eyes when he put Orton down at WrestleMania. He says Edge is the anti-Venom. Christian had to be have confidence in you. We think you can win. We think you can have the greatest wrestling match ever. They have Randy Orton appear on the screen and breaks him to shut up. He calls it pathetic. Edge would say that he was going to try, and Orton said he would humiliate him. Orton says he would send Edge home back where he belonged with his wife and kids. Redemption of Edge was over at Backlash. Edge said no, it's not. And they set it up. So I also want to mention Randy Orton. He had an interesting Twitter interaction with Tommaso Ciampa. Orton said something to the fact mocking NXT. I don't know the exact tweet in front of me, but mocking them for slapping their kicks and these super kicks. The Young Bucks, of course, are masters of that. But he's mocking at them, for that, and Ciampa went off on him. He says, your matches are boring. When I want to put my children to sleep, I watch a Randy Orton match. So he went off, and Orton responded again. So I guess that's a feud for Ciampa when he first comes to the main roster. I don't see him beating Randy Orton. He's too small. But they could do that. I mean, I don't know what else to do with Ciampa on NXT. Crushed by Karrion Kross. Charlie Caruso interviews MVP. He's wearing a Shaq Gasper t-shirt, which was a good thing to do. They do Street Profits, Viking Raiders. I'm going to skip that. I don't care. I'm sorry. Andrade, Angel Garza, Kevin Owens, number one contender match. No one really cares. Zelina Vega outside. It was an okay matchup. What happens is Andrade gets the win. Andrade, I guess he pinned Garza, and I guess that sets up the match for a U.S. title match. Sarah Screeber interviews Charlotte Flair. We haven't seen Sarah in a while. We see a lot of Charlie, not much Sarah. She said she didn't lose last night. She accomplished her goal to elevate the NXT title. She main evented TakeOver and main evented Raw, and Asuka danced in with her title. She said Asuka. She asked. Charlotte asked Asuka if she took anything seriously. Asuka said, yes, I do, and she slapped Charlotte in the face. Of course, Asuka can't beat Charlotte. That's going to be the storyline going forward. Garza and Andrade argued backstage, so I guess they're going to split up that faction. Kurt Angle has a horrible segment. He talks about the upcoming Edge Orton match. He compares it to Ricky Steamboat and Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, as well as himself and Brock Lesnar. Why? When Brock almost paralyzed himself with that fucking shooting star press at WrestleMania 19? Wow. Good comparison. He said Edge and Orton had that chemistry. Oh, man, that horrible WrestleMania match, that piece of shit. One of the worst matches of the year. That horrible match we had like 10 years ago. I still remember in a pay-per-view in Detroit, and Orton broke his arm punching the ring. That's no chemistry. They were okay as a tag team when they figured with DX, but that was whatever. So yeah, the MVP VIP lounge, I don't care. But Drew McIntyre is boring as champ. He does nothing. Last year MVP beat the Viking Raiders. Don't care. Then they let the announcers run down the Backlash card, and they do a good job of it. I think Matt Lashley might beat McIntyre. I don't know if it's going to happen at this show, but I think he's going to win the belt. Because I think they're going to do a long-term feud, and they reportedly have multiple matches, so I don't know if they're going to have job Bobby Lashley 3 shows. They could. They like Drew a lot, but I don't know if they're going to job him out like that. I think Lashley's going to win the belt, and he'll probably drop it back to Drew maybe at SummerSlam. But I do think Lashley might get it soon. So Asuka and Charlotte is the main event, and this was a great match. You had Sasha Banks and Bayley enter to their music. They joined commentary for a while, and it went on for a while. This was a long-ass match. They had a good match here, one of their better ones. They've had, this is probably their third main match together. They might have had more matches. I think they've had. They had a couple, but the two one. This is probably the third really significant one. Of course, the first one was WrestleMania 34 when they had Asuka against Charlotte, and Charlotte broke Asuka's undefeated streak at WrestleMania 34. Of course, that was the same building where the Undertaker's WrestleMania streak ended, and Charlotte broke Asuka's streak to retain her SmackDown Women's title. Then a year later, they have a rematch on SmackDown. This time, Asuka's the SmackDown Women's title, and Charlotte defeats Asuka clean in the middle of the ring on SmackDown. Of course, Charlotte would then take the SmackDown Women's title main event at WrestleMania 35 with Ronda and Becky in a triple threat. So they had this thing where Asuka can't beat Charlotte. They had the Iconics suddenly attack Sasha Banks and Bayley, and I think that's when they all got barred from Banks, and that's when it's official. It's the Backlash. It's Sasha Banks and Bayley defending their SmackDown Women's title against the Iconics, Peyton Royce and Mel Kay, and the former champs Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. So all three teams former champs. I think they should split Nikki and Alexa, but back to this match. They did really good. It got really exciting near the end. They had a really good back and forth. Charlotte drove Asuka into the barricade. Asuka comes right back up. Charlotte boots Asuka in the face. She hits a moonsault off the barricade, which is an awesome spot. Charlotte's really good. When Charlotte's motivated, she can go. She came back. She hit the spear for a near fall. They traded strikes until Asuka tried a submission, but Charlotte blocked. Asuka nailed the roundhouse kick, but then Nia Jax, Asuka's opponent at Backlash. In case you forget, since Nia Jax tries to kill everybody, maybe that's why they're seeing Kairi saying she's dead because Nia Jax killed her. It's a fucking idiot. I hate Nia Jax anyway. She jumps onto her apron. Asuka beats up Nia Jax. She kicks her off, and then after she kicks her off, she runs into a big boot by Charlotte Flair. Charlotte knocks out Asuka basically with the boot. 1, 2, 3. Charlotte Flair defeats the champion Asuka. As Charlotte posed, Nia Jax gives Asuka a Samoan drop, and her music plays as the show ended. I don't know why she had to wait so long to interfere, but the finish sucked, to be honest. However, it set up, needed its job. When I look at the big picture where they're going, probably makes sense that Charlotte beat Asuka if you want to set up Asuka and Charlotte in a singles program after Asuka beats Nia Jax, God willing, on Sunday. I'm 95% sure she's going to beat Nia. I think she will. And that sets up Asuka and Charlotte after that. She's going to beat Nia Jax. So I don't have a big problem with it. Raw was entertaining. He had a really good main event. So, hey, I thought both the women's matches were okay, the way it started. The segment, actually I made a mistake. The first women's match was no good. The main event was really good. So, it was okay. Edge Orton stuff was good. It's built up the matches. The one I don't care about is the title match, the McIntyre match. I have no interest in that. But that's Backlash. The greatest wrestling match of all time takes place this Sunday. We'll see. Hopefully we get a good show. I thought the go-home show to Backlash for tonight's Raw was pretty decent in my opinion.